of horror and why Killer Dam is now under intense scrutiny. All right, so we're still waiting for that story by Rita Tinina on that dam that has so far killed 44 people. Could you take a look at that? A dash to save lives. The old, men, women and children lucky to be alive after the privately owned Patel Dam in Solai, Nakuru County burst. The dam, sitting on a 1-acre piece of land, broke its earthen walls at around 7:30 p.m. Wednesday, unleashing raging waters which left in their wake death and destruction.
Huu ni mkasa ambao hujaonekana na hujaikuwa umefikiriwa kwa kiwango kikubwa sana.
Homes, businesses, crops, livestock and property such as vehicles were swept away and hundreds of people were left out in the cold, turned homeless in minutes.
Pole mzee. Kusikia mara moja kwa sauti padi ya juu, padi imetoka padi ya juu ngurumo kubwa sana. Hapa matimu yakakadika yote. Na kukaa kuna giza kwenye giza. Sasa watu wote wakatoka pale juu wakaanza kulia. Watu wanaanza mbio pale chini, maji ndio hana kuteremka.
Nyumba zimebomolewa. Hiyo maji imeteremka sana imekula mahali, yani mahali kumeinama hivyo kidogo.
2 hours after the dam walls broke, water was still flowing from it. As panic and helplessness gripped locals during the night of horror. Daybreak would reveal the real extent of the destruction.
This is a tragedy that touches all of us. Nothing of this kind has happened in our country, at least in my memory and in the history of our nation.
The waters swept through more than 2 kilometers of farmland, affecting 3 low-lying villages, mostly inhabited by casual laborers who work in nearby farms, with estimates putting those affected at more than 3,000 people.
I want to assure the families affected and the leadership here that we will give them all the support, including ensuring there's enough food for the families affected and also non-food items that will be provided throughout this period of this trauma.
A multi-agency operation bringing together the KDF, regular police, National Youth Service and the Kenya Red Cross continued night and day, as several people remain unaccounted for.
We have instructed the chiefs and the assistant chiefs from this place to ensure that they assist us to establish all our people who lived here and know which members of the families cannot be accounted for, so that within the next 24 hours we are able to conclusively come to an end with this operation.
More than 38 casualties are being treated at the Nakuru County Referral Hospital and the Bahati Sub-County Hospital.
Tuko kwa nyumba kwa tunapika na watoto na mama. Tukasikia mguruma kutoka huko juu. Kutoka nje ndio hivi. Mimi nikashika watoto wawili, mama mwingine. Tukaanza kukimbia, maji imetufikia. Mara moja nikasikia mama nyuma, kanigonga nikatupanisha watoto chini. Maji kanisomba.
Maji kikuja, nikatoka, nikakumbuka nimesahau mtoto mmoja. Alikuwa amelala kwa kiti. Ndio niliporudi hapo kumchukua. Ndio nikitoka sasa nikienda kushika hao wengine, maji ikatokelezea hapo. Tukijaribu kukimbia ikatubeba, tukaachana na watoto.
The Killer Dam, used for large-scale irrigation and fish farming, is owned by Manskul Patel. It is said to have burst due to the high volume of water following heavy rains that have been pounding the country.
We have commenced investigations into this to find out whether this is a tragedy we could actually have avoided.
Normally, what we know is that a dam should have some mechanisms that when it's full, should be able to release water. There's a mechanism. So we want to know whether it went through the necessary regulations.
The Ministry of Education closed several schools, among them Solai Boys High School, as those whose lives changed overnight contemplate on how to pick up the pieces. Rita Tinina, KTN News. So Elfat Lagat has been keeping an eye on this story for us. He has been there since morning. Elfas, not a very good evening for residents in that particular county of Nakuru. So let's have a conversation about the families that have been affected by this dam. What are the numbers that we're looking at in terms of the families that have been affected, and what sort of help are they getting now?
as you rightly put it, those who have been affected by this, these have actually been helped. 250 of them, they have been accommodated in, they've been accommodated here and also given non-food material, food material in a cooperation between Red Cross Lions Club of Nakuru as well as World Vision. They've been given mattresses, they've been given blankets as well, and they're putting up in Soloi secondary school until morning. We've had a conversation with the emergency operations manager, Mr. Venant. He's saying that tomorrow again they'll be ongoing with the process of trying to body recovery process as well. We have a conversation. We had a conversation with the governor for Nakuru, Honorable Ktn, telling us there's a team now that will be doing find out the structural integrity of the dams that are remaining. Just the first, if there is a need to empty them as possible, is telling us that his team as well from the county government will be assessing the extent of the damage that has happened in this particular place, and they would be moving forward trying to just empty the dams so as to curtail any tragedy of that magnitude later.
Elfas, from what I understand, there's 6 other dams within the vicinity, and there is concern. The Patel Dam, actually, Patel has 3 dams, so one of the dams is what has led us to where we are, so there are 2 others. As you mentioned, there are engineers who are trying to look at how they can empty them, but then what happens to the other 6 that are out there, and have there been efforts to sort of evacuate the people who are around the rest of the dams in that region?
Precisely, Linda, they are saying this particular place again, the mega dam is one of the 3 water reservoirs, and there are 2 remaining that are full and leaking as well. One of the remaining 2 dams is believed to be to cover almost 4 acres. And as I mentioned, now there is a multi-agency that has been set up by that of the county government and also the national government to just assess what is the integrity of the dam. And they're saying that should they have caused that it needs quick emptying of the dams to curtail any tragedy, that's what they'll be going to do. And let me just give the Linda over this Patel Dam. The owner is one Mr. Mansipul Patel. He's a large-scale irrigation farmer. There are villages that have been affected. Those in Nyatinua, Endao, and Aritani. So the 1 acre Patel Dam is located on the upper side of the farm, and lots of those in the low-lying areas. So the part where, a whole community was swept away, Linda, has been living on the low-lying side of this particular place. And the dam is situated on a red place. The dam is used, we found out, was a private dam that was used for irrigation and fish farming. So the action moving forward from Nakuru's Governor Ktn, they're saying that they investigate is Mr. Patel for the license, to treat reservoirs. That is the action that they're planning moving forward. The governor has also confirmed to us that tomorrow they are going to embark on the recovery of the body process and just keep us up to speed on what happens in this particular place. It has been a sad day, Linda.
Elfas Lagat, thank you so much for that update. And this is something that has drawn lots of reactions from Kenyans, especially leaders as well. So we also got a chance to speak to Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i, and he actually did say that it's quite unfortunate, and he said the government is trying to do everything to help the families that have been affected, basically asking people to stop speculating until they can get to the bottom of this. But apart from that, let's take a look at some of the messages that have come in, the condolences to the bereaved families and friends of victims of the Solai Dam tragedy. Let's take a look at some of them. Last night's Salai Dam disaster is among many others that have happened in the country in the last couple of weeks, in the last couple of months, so to speak, and it has been raining heavily, and it's not the only one. Could you take a look at our super wall and just take a look at some of the tragedies, the recent disasters that we've had in the country? 24th of April, we had the Naivasha tragedy. 7 people were killed after a vehicle they were traveling in was swept away by floods along the Marai-Gushu-Githabai Road in Kinango. That was not the only one. 4th of May, we lost 7 people after raging floods swept away Fatima South Bridge River in Kandesi. Remember, we were there for you as well, just trying to cover that for you in a way only we can. 6th of May, we had the Dobli attack. 9 KDF soldiers killed after their vehicle ran over an IED. 8th of May, again, Nyatike mines tragedy. 6 people were buried alive in Macalder mine after a tunnel collapsed. So just taking a look at this super world, this has not been a very easy month for Kenya. 9th of May, River Enzio. 4 bodies of 4 people who were killed after Probox was swept by floods were recovered. So Salai Dam tragedy, we're looking at about 44 who have so far been killed after Patel Dam burst its banks. Rescue efforts are still ongoing. That is a story that we're keeping an eye on for you, and our Elvis Lagat is still there for you. We'll get you the latest before we wrap up this bulletin. Let's move on now. From that sad story in Nakuru, let us now go back to Wednesday tragedy in Nyatike, where 6 people at the Macalder mining died, and Migori County Assembly is now proposing to ban mining in the area. The move, according to the County Assembly Speaker, Boaz Okoth, is to avoid loss of lives in the gold mines. The move comes as families of those who died in the tragedy started burial preparations. Ashley Mazuri has details of that story for you.
Grief-stricken family and friends are still trying to come to terms with the loss of their loved ones, victims of the heavy rains in the area that led to the collapse of Macalder gold mine, killing 6 people. Laura Atieno from Paprombe village recalls the last moments with her brother-in-law, Joshua Abongo Dibogu, a 33-year-old who perished in the mining expedition that turned tragic.
Tulihakikisha kwamba ameshachukuliwa, maisha yake imeshaenda. Jana jioni.
Despite having vast knowledge of the risks the killer mines pose, Andrew Mwalimu, 38, whose brother was among those who succumbed in the mines, says that he has no option but to go back to gapping traps, as this is the only source of livelihood.
Mimi ni msalewa hapa, nimesoma tu hapa. Maisha yangu yote huwa nafanya tu hapa.
Si watu wanakufa kwa mabarabara?
Kama ndege.
Hata ndege pia inaua watu, hata baharini inaua watu. Sasa kama inakufungwa mahali inaua watu, hata barabara wafunge, magari wasikimbie kwa barabara.
But even as he vowed to go back to mining, the Migori County Assembly is now planning to enact laws banning mining in the area. County Assembly members expressed divergent opinions concerning the county's disaster management and preparedness. They want mining stopped, albeit temporarily, until the current rains subside. The County Assembly Speaker Boaz Okoth, on his side, accused the county government of failing to implement laws passed in the County Assembly regarding disaster management. A spot check at the Nyatike gold mines, which have turned into scary death traps, revealed that miners had deserted the place, leaving their mining equipment for fear of the unknown. The few who have resorted to remain at the mines are either packing up or waiting to sell the little they had harvested before the tragedy struck. Ashley Mazuri, KTN News.
May has definitely not been a good month for the Republic of Kenya. You're watching Ktn Prime. Thank you for staying with us. Let's take a break. We'll be back after a few minutes.
This is KTN News.